Good evening, everybody. Fox It Outdoors here. It is another, I would say, lovely day, but it's kind of grungy, overcast, cloudy. We are looking at 66 degrees on March 15th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been pretty warm all day. Just out here doing a little bit of yardage work. Like I said, I had to do a little bit of repair work. Got that repaired. I got one more in the back I haven't gotten to. But I got to take care of that final panel back there. I got to get that one in. And my camera's going really slow on the transition today. That's kind of weird. That is really strange. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, it's like 80 degrees in my greenhouse right now. As you can see, everything is going quite well. Got my garlic tests in here, bugs flying around. Got my barrels refilled with clean water. I got to let these ones sit for about 24 to 48 hours before I actually use them to water my plants. My parsley's looking sad as heck, so I'm going to have to get that watered. I just saw an annoying bug land on my plant. Where's he at? I lost him. He moved. He is on the end of that purple flower right there. I've got my garlic chives over here going. My rosebush coming back. And now the wind is kicking up. You guys can probably hear the panels on my greenhouse moving around, wiggling, squiggling, and making noise. I got strawberries galore down here. Onions are going everywhere. Oop, look, I got a little fuzzy friend over here. Little jumping spider. I got another one over here someplace. I put him on there this morning when I was out here, so he's in here somewhere. Or not. Maybe he moved. Maybe that's him that's on that little bucket right there. I don't know. But everything's going great in here. Going full blast. I got my eggshells over there getting ready for that. I got to take that guy out because I think it's dead. Yeah, other than that, I've got an empty pot there with some stuff in it. I don't know what's growing in it, but I'm going to let it grow to see what I get. If it's a bunch of weeds or flowers, I'm just going to take it out and sift it. Other than that, that's the update for the greenhouse. Short, sweet, and to the point. And then we've got over here my mulch bin, well, compost bin, and then my one potato. Move my plants back. Got my soil from over there off the black tarp cleaned up, sifted, everything. And then I know you guys can see all of that green over there. My garlic is coming up like crazy. I think I've only gotten like 5 or 6 that didn't germinate. Other than that, I'm going to have a very large yield of garlic this year. Cleaned up my patio space. I got to redo the shade screen over here. The wind destroyed it. Strawberries are coming back, so is this plant. My onions, which have been out here the entire season, all through winter, well, New Mexico winter, still going. They don't even care. They're just really going. These are the bunching onions, by the way. That's just how big they get when you put them in a larger container and you space them out. I got these ugly plants planted today. These are yellow mums. That's the thing right there for them. I got those transplanted from these ugly yellow containers to some decent ones. I do have all containers of the same color. I just felt like doing 2 and 2. That way I have to keep my containers more or less evened out. I've got the top of this thing cleaned out. I'm going to add some new soil to that, and I think I'm going to grow carrots in that one this year. The soil is really nice and loose. I checked it earlier. That's the reason why it's the way it is right now. My sifting screen, which I've got my barrel over here full of sifted soil, mixed as well with these big old chunks, which actually aren't big old chunks. That's just what happens when you use worm castings. That's what that stuff does. It clumps up together really bad. And down here I got my mulch, just growing. Well, not growing mulch. Yes, folks, I'm growing mulch. Anyways, my sifted mulch. And then I'll just put all that as a cover on this when I get that going. But yeah, I'm going to do carrots in that one this year. Pardon me. It's really nice soil, and I think it'll work out real well. because it is a fairly deep pot. I think it's about 12 or 13 inches, so I can get some decent sized carrots out of that. Got my potting soil mix over there, my seed starting mix. Those guys came back, my chives came back, they don't even care. Those things died, froze, grew back, froze, died off, and then came back again. So I have now immortal chives that are absolutely used to all my junky weather. And as you can see, my workstation, going around over here. I pulled my tree out. My tree died. I've got my lettuces still going in here, which I don't know how these things are still alive. They've been frostbitten numerous times. They do have a little bit of brown on the edges, but they'll come back. And then you can see I have my 4 random onions in here. There's one there, one over here, and one right there. And then a random weed, which I need to pull that out. I do not like weeds. Oh yeah, it's definitely a random weed. Then my carrots in here, which surprisingly are still alive. I don't know how throughout winter, but I got magic carrots or magic dirt, one of the two. Well, guys, this is one of the carrots. That's a fairly decent sized carrot. Probably not very long, but I've got some other ones in here. Like I got this guy down here in the corner. Got this guy over here. This one's a big one. I got a couple of them actually. Look at that one. Couple right there. That's actually one carrot. It just got root weirded all. The roots got all weird on it. Let's see about this one here. Yeah, a little one. And there's some other bigger ones in here. Then my other container of garlic, I planted 22 in there, and so far I am missing 3. Actually, no, I stand corrected. I'm missing 2. I will go over here just a quickie and show you guys. So the one I was missing was right here. He finally popped up. So I got one there. I put 2 in the front, and then I did rows of 4. Rows of 4 by 5. So it's 4 by 5. I'm waiting on this one here to pop up. And I'm waiting on the one that should be right by that big white thing to pop up. It hasn't popped up yet, so I may or may not get that one. But I don't know. I'd say I'd pretty got a good growth rate on these. 20 out of 22. I'm happy with that, because that's going to be a lot of garlic. Apologies for the road noise. Once again, I live in an area where everybody wants to drive sports cars and then they take the mufflers off. But I digress. Mint is coming back. Mulch is, my hay mulch is, or hay cover is still in here, which is amazing. I've actually moved this back to check on all 3 of these before. Every couple of weeks I check on them. Tons of worms under there. It's like hilarious, but I got lots of worms growing under there, so that is good. They're slowly breaking down, adding nutrients to my soil, and you can see my plants are already starting to send out little buds. And even this guy over here, he's got this funny little node on him. I should have planted that one in the ground. I think that would have been a nice little sprout off of that. But yeah, good screen cover still. Wind blew off most of the leaves, but live and learn, I guess. But yeah, at the end of once the season starts, this thing's going to take off, and I'm going to have a massive wall over here. And then, as I mentioned on my live stream on last Saturday, that I had a surprise for you guys that I forgot to mention at the end of the live stream because nobody reminded me and I completely forgot. This is going to be I'm going to do a test in this container right here. This is my bamboo. So what I'm going to do, this is the sneak peek and surprise that I don't think I've ever seen anybody do in the gardening community. I'm planting beans in here. I have 1 bean already planted in here. I'm probably going to plant 2 more next to each one of these, or kind of close. Or I might plant them just up front because I've got this big empty space. I'm going to trellis beans on bamboo. Usually you do the 3 sisters, corn, bean, and squash. I'm doing beans and bamboo. This is going to be my odd, funny test for the season. We'll see. Bamboo grows really fast. beans grow kind of slow, so they also grow kind of fast. So we're going to try it out. We're going to see what happens. If this works out well, I might consider planting more little sectors of bamboo everywhere and just growing beans in with them. But at the same time, I also got to harvest the bamboo, because the bamboo is going to be actually used as free mulch or in-ground cover for these, because I do have my mulch, my little mulcher machine that I bought on Amazon. But yeah, so that's what's happening there. That's going to be the fun little secret test. Well, not really secret once I post this video. But yeah, stuff to try, because why not? And then as usual, this garden bed has not stopped growing at all. I got lettuces growing everywhere in here, carrots all over the place. I still have like 3 or 4 onions just growing in here. And most of the carrots in here are absolutely trashed, but I might have some decent ones. See, I got a couple of little ones down here. Hard to see with the light, I apologize. But I do check on this stuff constantly. I have been maintaining it. I have been looking it over. I have been watching. Just making sure this stuff gets watered every month or so, just so it doesn't die. And then my final surprise, I'm just kidding, my tree didn't die. I transplanted it into a different bucket, put more soil in there, and kind of dug it out of the dirt a little bit, so I have more of the more of the base exposed. But recovered it with its mulch shirt and gave it a good soak, so I shouldn't have to water this thing for at least another month, which is what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to water these, even if they're in buckets, every 2 to 3 weeks is when I need to water them. That's really all they need. And haven't figured out what I'm going to do there, but I've left the trellis in, so I'm most likely going to grow another tomato in there. I got to fill that in and fix all that up. And that'll be my tomato trellis again for the year. And yeah, just waiting on this one to settle a little bit so I can add just the last final bits on there and we'll get her going. And then I got to sift out this one over here. Take out at least about 6-8 inches of the dirt out of there, sift it, make sure it's nice and moist. And then I'll get planting in that one as well. Alright, and then there's the final, the empty bucket. But yep, alright guys. Thanks for joining me on this little venture. I would say a little venture, but this was a fairly long video. I was going to do a shorter one, but such is life. You never know what you're going to end up filming. Pardon me. Do me a favor on that way out, hit that thumbs up. Let the YouTube algorithm know that you guys are enjoying my videos. If you stuck through this far, hopefully if I can make it to 1,000 subs, I will be doing another giveaway. Might be garden supplies, might be outdoor equipment. I don't know. Could be a combination of both. I'll let my viewers decide. Aside from that, thank you guys once again. This is going to be Foxit Outdoors signing off. I'll see you guys on the next one.